Okay, so we're in page Kuf Ein Ha. We're in page Kuf Ein Aleph. We spoke about the fact the pasuk says, "What are the two started saying that there are two types of avodim. Evet posha, there's an oni, and then there's an osh. Evet, he calls him Evet sha'asa melacha avdei shalod. So now he brought it in the middle of asking a question. Agam shenema, agam agam da'alti. It's like how many lines from the bottom? 7 lines from the bottom. Shlomo says v'ashpal. Shlomo says habal schori. Agam da'alti. So the oni. The Eved Oni is compared to post. The Eved Oni Baruch is compared to poor. To poor servant. Poor servant who's doing the job just for the money, because it's a very low grade avoider. He says that the lower level of avoider. Mandy, put it on mute, please. The low level of avoider, which is mamshech only the oily key shaykh lo'elamis. So that is the Eved on. Rabas Hoy. Which means he does it for the money, because it's not worth for him. He's a poor person, he needs the income. So it's not some high level, high grade service. So the Hagav is a question. The Gemara says the person the learning Pekov is how Tir Kabbalim Shabbos Harav Kabbalah Amnas Kabbalah Paras. The idea of the service of Hashem should be not to get schar, not to get pass. So why in our mashal we have schar? So it answers that pass here doesn't really mean. Okay, it's not clear. The answer is not written clear, but I think the point is that the price is not like a separate type of payment. That avoided is doing that is pass. Close. I'm sure. Sneak a pass. Mashal pus. So in that way, the mashal and the nimshal are not exact. In the mashal, the Eved Ani does a simple task, like he said earlier, chativa seitzim, and he gets paid with money. In our case, the avodah is the amshach of pass. The amshach of is that's basically the avodah. That is what he's doing. Okay, so he stopped discussing the two what the mashal is, but now he's going to say what it is in practicality. What does it mean? I'm shachar the avodah tefillah. This avodah is only with what part of our the avodah Hashem is it? That's the avodah of tefillah. Tefillah is the avodah of avodas oni. Chativa says.
I'm sorry. What does that mean? That in the nimsh that he the schar is the avodah. What does that mean?
No, I mean that's something that I said. In other words, it's not that you're getting paid by some side issue. That itself is the purpose. The purpose is in the marshal you get paid. It's like
Money.
Money, which means it's something unrelated to what you did. Just in order for you to want to do it, you have to be compensated. In the nimshul, it's more to your avodah, which is going to describe soon. The avodah of tefillah to the avodah of avodas oni is mamshech and milo, the early key, which is shach le'elamet. So that's the past. I think it's different because that's really the purpose. That's really the purpose from the perspective of the of the master also. The master wants. It's not just the. Let's say in the marshal chativa says the master wants he should chop his wood and he pays you. It's two different things. In the nimshul, the Eibishter wants us to do the avodah in order to be mamshel the rashayach levels. It's different. I think that's what it means here, because it doesn't really answer the question. He asks the question, so what's the answer? That's the answer. The other, he doesn't like it's written very short, but I think, but on the other hand, that's maybe the remez in the Mishnah. Al tiyu kavodim, ela yu kavodim. The two madrigas navodim, both avodim are valid, and the madrigas navodim Hashem. Like I said earlier, the two madrigas the avodim from kapas, that is the lower level. Ela yu kavodim, that's the higher level. But al tiyu, it doesn't mean, in according to this understanding, it doesn't mean he shouldn't do it, because that's also a valid avodah. But just the Mishnah says he should strive to the higher level of avodah. I think that's pshat. Okay. What's the avodah? Why is tefillah considered a low level avodah? So there it goes into the whole discussion. Tefillah hitzak. So no, that's actually a new way of understanding what tefillah means. Tefillah means screaming. Because of vayitzak al Hashem, the inner of tefillah is a scream. It's an expression of it's an expression when you scream, like he's going to say. The person screams either when something excites him very much, something a great wonder, or and somebody next to you says an obvious lie. So that causes you to yell. It means when something which is obviously false is being expressed, it causes you to scream. So tefillah, the type of tefillah means the scream against to express your dismay, something that was said which was obviously wrong. It shows intolerance. I'm screaming. How can you say such a thing? It's wrong. So you scream. So what does it mean? Something is 100% true to you. You cannot tolerate someone who says the opposite. Hein gvur is the Abba. So he uses right away a Kabbalah expression to describe it. Gvur is the Abba. What is Abba? He's going to say in a second. Abba means Chochma. Chochma means that, what is a Chochma? Chochma is, like he said, Eiz a Chocham, Chen Eiz a Chocham, Aroyes Hanayod Ma'an Liyesh. Chochma means the wisdom to see how everything is created. The Eibishter created everything. Everything created everything from nothing. She'ein davar is asatzmei. The Chachma is the recognition, the clear recognition that nothing makes himself. So the Chachma makes you see clearly in your eyes that the nothing was created, has its own ability to exist, and everything was created from, through Koyach Haliki. Not only that, Rab Niva Batel and Tisla Gamba. Because the Eibush is going to create the Niva, so the Niva is Batel and Tzis. It doesn't have any of its own Mitzis. Shall Efes be loaded. Gam Koyach and Stav Shaba'ilam Shabaz, the name of Beho. Not only that, he also sees, in addition to the fact that he sees that so first of all, you see the actual creation. In addition, it says we learned in other Mamarim, the Koyach Sof, that Kayom B'mish, Kayom B'ish, Kayom B'min. The means the Lashon HaPasuk. So all these, both of them, the actual creation of reality and the fact that there's koach and stuff in our universe, all these are obviously so the chacham, which is Abba, is the Abba. The chacham sees clearly that this is the case. But when the world contradicts it, the world screams, no, that the world says, I'm independent being, that creates a reaction of a big scream. So that's what tefillah. Tefillah is the reaction to the fact that the world around us claims to be independent, claims to be separate from Likus, and we see the opposite. So that creates a situation of screaming. Batzar. What is batzar? I think batzar is a pasuk that you scream when you're in a state of tzar, when you're tight. Sha'olam nasa l'makom tzar. Bifrat in nimshachul. I don't know what that means. It's a rem. It means maybe it means nimshach. If he's drawn, I think maybe if he's drawn to the klippus, the tivus. So that creates a state of cycle. But when does this cycle come? Going back to that's gvur is the Abba. Abba is the seeing the koach haliki. Gvur means the judgment, which is the tzaka, the scream. How can the world not recognize it? But when do we reach that state that we scream? Like we said, if he sees, he understands, he sees the likus. But what happens when the seichel is crude and his neshama is low? That gasas haruach, that's what's called gasas haruach. You know, in simple language, gasas haruach means kaiver. But Chassidus says gasas means the gases, the gopkeit of the spirit, which is crudeness. Nitos begeshem, and not only that, he's affected by gashem, and there's materialism that hides everything. So what happens then? Not only that, okay, there's more. Still now he spoke about stam gashmis, materialism, especially when there's makiv the klipa, when there's evil, there's klipa. So all this causes a person not to recognize, maybe he's not screaming. So if Ra'etzel is a Kabbalah side, so the eights are to overcome that ability, that situation. A person doesn't recognize Elikus, so it's Kabbalah Shammai. What it says in Chazal, Al Yom Adam Efshi b'Bsar Chazir, Al Efshi Ma'at Hashavit Shemayim Gazar Alay. Battle he's mevatel himself. The first step to reach the tzayka is by destroying the found desires, the found interests. That's the echer va'oil. Efshi, like I said, going back to Ma'amar Chazal. Al yom adam efshi b'bsar chazer el efshi. The simple meaning again. Chassidus looks a little deeper here. The simple meaning is a person shouldn't say, I just don't like cheeseburgers. So it's not a big deal. So that's not a chacham. Say efshi, I would like to do it. Well, Chassidus looks at it deeper. The efshi is not because I don't like. Efshi means I recognize that it's wrong. So that the Rebbe said it's bad to do averos. That's not real Kabbalah self. If you understand why it's wrong, so that's not Kabbalah self. There's a level of that's also a positive thing. You say, look, I think into it, and I come to the conclusion that it's wrong to do averos. That's a result of Avodah Me'er B'Gilui. But that level of avodah, the person uses his mind and heart to recognize that he's son of evil and the mile of good, still part of his ego, still eretz pnimi. So that the only matak in the eretz pnimi. Be'efshi, Mashenken that madrig, when he says efsha ma esse, he says, no, I don't. My mind doesn't really understand why it's wrong. I just have Kabbalah soils, that's a higher level. Tikna makiv the clip. That is, so he gave us a whole description. I mean, it's obvious the way it's written here, everything bekitz and nimrutz. The Rebbe Rashab wrote mamish remozim what he said, be trying to decipher what he says it. But, so at least at this point we reached what he explained, that tefillah, the avodah of the oni, that is the avodah of tzayka, which comes to Kabbalah soil. These are all of them in general are it's which he calls it's all the type of avodah, types of avodah that in a way lower grade. You just Kabbalah soil. It's not pnimi. What does that bring? Remember, he started saying before, the two amshach is the nimshach to avodas Hashem, to avodas. One amshach is to the tzimtzum. There should be amshach as a pnimi. Amshach is a rakav, what we call. That is one avodah. And then the other thing is to be mamshach yourself shalifnei tzimtzum. So now I have to describe what is the avodah of the Eved only. Because the tzayka, the Kabbalah soil, there, what does that bring me on Maila? Maila the tzimtzum. Not in this Maimah, but another Maimah, it says that it's mitashada made, just like a person puts his own kaviyachol, his own ego to the side, Kabbalah soil, so mamshich Maila kaviyachol, the same. I always find it interesting, this comparison, but that Kaviyachol and Maila, the Eibishter also is mitzamtzam himself, and he creates a mitzumtzam that the Nevoim can be mekabel. So that is the avodah. That is the first level of avodah. The avodah ani. Zayin le'ira. So that is what the pasuk says. V'ati so ma'avel k'shamech le'ira. Le'ira means le'ira ta'tor kabbalah semach hashamayim. Hakach la'ava. Shemoy rachem rab al nafshel Yaakov shapada savom. These are the avodas. This is the lower level of avodah. Ira and also even ava. Like the ava which comes to rachamim. Like it says the Yaakov shapada savom. Yaakov is midas rachamim. So and there's a whole parak in Tanya. I think it's parak Mem Hey or Mem Vov. The whole time it describes, and the person wants to mimair himself. Ava is mimair to rachmin. He has achmanos. It's in a way similar to the tzayka. It's all a result of the recognition. Allah he felt, so that is that makes him love the Eibush. These two are part of Le'ira Hashem Lekecha, which basically is the lower level of avodah. Seems. Then L'Lechas B'Drochav, whatever the base. Then there's another level. L'Lechas B'Drochav, another avodah, which is mamshich, like I said earlier, mamshich the Eretz of Shalifnei Tzimtzum. That's why it's called L'Lechas B'Drochav. However, the base shows the Dova Shodanatzmeis. What do we say? The second Eved, the Eved Osher, he doesn't do tests that's pasnish, that's below the dignity of the master to do. That the second Eved, the Osher, he does things that he just is like a colleague of the master. He does things, the master can do it also, but he does it instead. That's in the Mashal. What does it mean in the Nimshal? That it's not tzimtzum, but it's Eretz of Shlifnei tzimtzum. He's mamshel the Eretz of K'moshu. V'oine kol ochas. The lashon is lechas b'drochav. The lashon pasuk is lechas b'drochav. V'oine kol ochas avai. It's in the psukim. The lashon ochas avai. The paths of Hashem. Derech avai. What does it mean in avodah? Again, he writes it very big. So when it came to Avodah, so only that was Avodah Tefillah. What is Avodah Osher? That is the Avodah of Limud HaTorah. Reise michachma gduma v'yod alamat. So the Torah is the derech Hashem, which it's like a path that comes from Torah gduma v'yod alamat, like a path. That's why it's b'doch. V'oretz se'ira, and the oretz, the land, the earth, it shines because of the Gil of Torah. Alichis oilam. Another, maybe the oretz se'ira is a lashon samba in Chazal. They can find it. And another remez that Alichas v'doch of Torah, it says in Posuk Alichas oilam loy. So remember what we say every day. Atika alichas ala halachas. That alichas ala halachas. Alichas is the halachas of Torah. Zel alichas v'doch of the Torah. Lam shegel in Sefer Mat. Beloved avodah shaloi. So that is again, it's very remezlik here, but the general point is making here the two types of avodah. Tefillah and Torah. Tefillah means the tzayka, the Kabbalah soil, which is really like relatively speaking a lower grade type of engagement that a person overcomes his distance, his rejection of likus, and he screams he wants to connect to the Eibishter. So that what level of likus is mamshech? Is mamshech only the lower level of shayachas lo'ilams. Then there is Limud HaTorah, which is pure. You just learn with the Chachmas HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then you mamshech himself trifnetzim. Zel ve'ato. Now you asked an interesting question. Beginning of the Maimer, ve'ato is soul. Now he saw Shema Mo'aval Kasher Mima. What is ve'ato? What does ve'ato mean? Now. So he says it's the pshat. Ve'ato is bezman the shit al feshnik. In Arab way than now, as opposed to what's going to be la'asid lovos. So what does the Eibishter want from us? The Eibishter wants us doing the shit al feshnim to do this to avoid it. Le'ira l'lechas v'dochav, the Eved Oni and the Eved Oshi. This is our test to write the shit al feshnim. That's what the atom is. Going back to the Master, Ludodi, in the beginning of the Maimer, he asked the question. It says, Ludodi, so that's Rosh Tevis Elul. Elul is the Avodas HaTshuv. Then the Sefer Tevis, and also Sefer Tevis, which is the 40 days from Rosh Tevis Elul to people, when Moshe Rabbeinu was in the house, that's Tshuva. But then what is the second half of the pasuk? So what are the two parts? He says, so that's the answer. Basically, what we just said, the two parts of Fanil Dede Lil, Dede Hoshanim, Tshuva and Torah. So Tshuva and like he'll say in a minute, Tshuva and Ira is the same thing. Tshuva and Kabbalah soil and Tzaka is the same thing. So this pasuk really talks about both of these things. The Ira lechas b'doch. Tshuva, see that's what it says. Yes, Tshuva tator, Tshuva law. Chlav we learned there's Tshuva tator and Tshuva law. He doesn't say that here either, but in Tanya, he goes at Tshuva. He says Tshuva tator is like a tail. So now Tshuva law. I'm sorry, Tshuva law is like a tail. Now we're talking about Tshuva tator. Tshuva tator lashon midochav alei teidim. Tshuva tator means the actual regret and tshuva from naisav alei teidim, from his evil behavior. But tshuva this tshuva, like we said in the tzak or the Kabbalah soil, it's merir. It comes from bitterness. Because he feels the distance, that way he regrets and he undoes his interest. The Irat HaTorah, Tshuvat HaTorah in Echad. Irat HaTorah and Tshuvat, it's the same concept. Irat HaTorah, the tzak that you mentioned over in the Kabbalah. So Tshuvat is the same thing now. Like Irat HaTorah, Kabbalah, Shaleach. Yirat Torah is to prevent you from sinning. Tshuvat Torah achar sheyachta, but both come from the same place. So that's the meaning of ani L'Doidi li. Schenk in the Indian of the second part of the pasuk. Shanim ba'alocha. That's the limit of Torah. That's the Indian of lalechas b'dorach. Alocha is alichis. So that is the two parts. Yes, Shloima, and then he said you have another pasuk that talks about lalechas b'dorach. What does it say? Yaakov alach l'darka achar hatshuva. Says Yaakov alach l'darka. It says achar tshuva here, so I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe in actual psukim over there, it talks about Yaakov at Lavan, Yaakov Chodaka. But we also know always about the after Tisha, we say Yaakov Chodaka. She madrega lieni yesa. Yaakov Chodaka is the madrega after tshuva. That's the limit of Torah. So we finish this mimer that's written extremely bekitzer. And we're trying to guess what is Maram is here. Something we didn't even resolve. Like, for example, so a few expressions here, I'm not sure what it means. Like, B'fatim nimshach, or B'horet se'ira, it's remozim. Okay, the next mimer is the same thing. It's interesting. The next mimer says also, Rishumei Dvorim. And the mimer, that it doesn't say Rishumei Dvorim, just Rishumei Dvorim. It's a very short. But we have a big mazel. The next mimer, we have a hanoch. This the next mimer, which we just it's a mimer of safety, mine aleph. So again, the Rebbe was saying rather than extremely bekitzer, but we have a mazel, we have a hanoch of a big part of the mimer at the end of the sefer. It means someone was there when he said it, and he wrote down what he said. When he said it in a way that's easier to understand what he's saying. That's on page Reish Mem Beis 1. To look further, and over there, the next mimer is written much more easy. So we're going to hold both pages at the same time to try to understand what he's saying. Okay, let's start it now. Koi Amar Hashem. It says, if you look on the bottom of the page, it says Me'ala Dibo Amaschil Nimsha B'kus HaKodesh Sefer Yeshai. It's a pasuk in Yeshai. The Maimar starts a pasuk Yeshai. It's from the After, one of the Zayin, the Nechemta. That's one of the Afters. The After of Sheft. I'm holding both pages, Kofayim Beis, Rishman Beis 1, because that's much easier to understand what it says. Koyam Hashem, Chinam Nimkartem, V'loi B'kesef Tigail. You were sold for free, and the B'meila I cannot redeem you with money. The Gemara says, Loi B'tshuva Ma'asim Tovim. That's not, what does it mean? So look, Rishman Beis says, Oizgesteich. Isa B'Gemara Sanhedrin, what is Loi B'kesef Tigail? So the Loi B'tshuva Ma'asim Tovim. That the Geula of Oslo will not be Tshuva Ma'asim Tovim. The Isa Shem Achleget Ablezer Rav Yeshua. The Gemara Sanhedrin gives them Achleget Ablezer Rav Yeshua. Ablezer Imer Im Yisod Tshuva Nigol Eisen Tshuva Ma'asim Tovim Nigol. If they didn't do Tshuva, then there's a Gula. Im Lav Ein Nigol. Rav Yeshua Imer Benkach or Benkach Nigol. So the shita for Rav Yeshua is that the Gula does not depend on Tshuva. Chein Yesh V'zeh Yesh Machlekes Rav Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel also argued the same similar, and they say there's another point. The Rabbi is finally going to ask you to my sister. Shmuel Amar Dai le'ovel sheyamid be'evlo. It's enough for the mourner. He mourned enough. It's enough for him. He has to get out of his mourning. Pirush Rashi. So Rashi says pshat in Shmuel. Dai le'ovel shakadosh baruch hu. Sheyamid be'evlo. The Eibishter was mourning enough for the Golus. It's enough. Shenema by Eshev Ochari Mina, she's a Gamke Negei Elov. No, the Eibishter himself wants to redeem us not because we do tshuva, because it's enough. He suffered, so to speak, enough. I'm reading a Rishman base because it's easier to read.
He suffered or we suffered?
He suffered. That's the point. That he
Because
suffered.
he suffered enough. Right?
That's why he says. What's the pasuk say? We say it every time we see, but there's a master. What's Ishasi? So the Medrash says something very powerful. Can you see me now? Do you see me?
Yeah. I can see you, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay. The Medrash says, if the pasuk wouldn't say this word, we wouldn't be able to say it on our own. What did it say? That is the Abish's own redemption, not our redemption. That is. So that's the pasuk says. My only sure, the Abish is sure. I know she'ain is a schus. It's not. We need a schus to have the geula. That's need to do tshuva ma'asim tovim. Shezeh kav yachol yishor l'mayla. It's a yishor for the Abish himself. Zeh gam kama shekos. Another pasuk. In a malkach yovelach tzadik v'noisha. The pasuk talks about the Geula Asidos. It says Yovel tzadik v'noisha. He's righteous and he's noisha. Moshiach einem akanal v'noisha. Not that he is the redeemer. He's being redeemed. Shkavyachol Moshiach satzmi. Zeh gam kama shekosov ime anechi betzora v'yisa b'medrash oil shatem betzora v'anechi machem betzora. Zeh gam kama shekosov b'shkol tzosam leitzor shagam loy kavyachol tzormiz. So going back to this whole paragraph there in our Maimer in the Kufr Ein Beis, it's all one line. It's all one line till you show us. It's interesting. The Rebbe Rashab wrote it down very bekitzer, but when he spoke about it in a way we can understand. So what do we see here? That pasuk koyma Hashem shinam nimtzkat levakas de'ela means when I'm redeem you, I don't need your tshuva ma'asim tovim to redeem you because it's not you, it's me. The Eibush Kaviyachol, the Eibush himself, it's his own golus. So he wants to stop the golus for his own sake. To bring up a bunch of sources to prove that his own that the goal is for the sake of the Eibush himself. I'm reading on in Reshman Beis, the inexiv tzaddik ovad. So pasuk says tzaddik ovad, the tzaddik was lost. So the Zohar says shekoyal zman goals. That this pasuk tzaddik ovad, the tzaddik was lost, talks about the goals. Tzaddik koyal yisoid. Tzaddik is a sphere yisoid. That's what we know from other sources. V'ovad matonisa. And he was lost. Yisoid is the mashpia, the male. And he was lost in matonisa, which is the malchus. Yisoid, the malchus lost the yisoid. Eine shelo yesh hashpo mizol malchus. That is pshat tzaddik over. That malchus is not makabel hashpo from zol. K'moy came. Not only that, not only is he lost from the makabel, which is malchus. K'moy came over the makabel chay b'chan de'leila. Also, he lost its connection to the makabel, the malchus, and also lost the connection to the madrigas above him, which is the chay b'chan de'leila, the shmenes. That's the lashon zoy. V'ainu b'shem zeh gufa l'fi shovad matonisa shelo yesh hashpah mizol malchus v'gan ken over the makabel chay b'chan de'leila. Because he lost his connection to the makabel, he's no more mashpia in malchus. That's why he also lost the keiches that he usually gets from above him. So now he's going to explain.
He lost the voice when you do you know it?
What?
No, okay, no,
No, what was the question?
I lost you for a second. I lost your voice for a second.
I'm sorry. Okay, so what did it just describe? That the pasuk, we trying to explain the first paragraph. First paragraph, I said about time. It's an explanation of the first paragraph. First paragraph says that the Kaviyachol, the Eibishter is in Golus. What does it mean? So so now in this paragraph, brings some Zoya that there's a Midas Yisoid. Midas Yisoid, the usual, the standard way of the way the world was created. That Yisoid is Mashpia and Malchus. The sphere says Yisoid is Mashpia. Zo is Mashpia and Malchus, and also it's Makabel from the spheres above it. When it comes to Golus, so Malchus is in Shechina is in Golus, but Mela Shechina is not Makabel from Zo. But Mela Zo itself, the Madrega of Zo, also doesn't get the Ashpar above it. Was Pshat, but Inyanu. So he's going to explain it a little more about it. The Inel Tzorich Ashpar, Tzorich Hamshacha Lamata, Tzorich Lias Nimshach Gilei Elam Milmayl. In order to reach lower, you need a special influx of Milmayl. Like the standard marshal is the Vaidava, like it says, Vaidava Shlem, Shleish Salaf Marshal. In order to reach the lowest, that says, Vayachka Mikoladam, in order to reach the lowest level, you have to have Amshacha from a higher level. The Zeo Shekosa, Magbil Shevetz, Amashpilios Bashmayim V'Loretz. But the pasuk says, "Mika vayla kina magbil shaves." That the Eibishter is magbil, is very high. A mashpil ilir is b'shamayim v'aretz, and he lowers himself b'shamayim v'aretz. Zel idei magbil shaves, and the gila aliyah. In order to reach lower, you need a special influx of energy from higher. So that's b'chlal. So it's similar to that concept in general. In this particular situation, in order for Zot to be Mamshach in Malchus, you search for Mamshach in Malchus, it needs Amshach from higher. So that's the famous source. That concept is Merumas in the Pasuk, Sena Orena B'noi Tzion V'Melach Shleimai, Ba'ator She'ito Le'imah B'yom Chasanos. They got married, his mother gave him a special crown. What's Maintus? The Chasanos is a Ashpa. Getting married, the concept of marriage is that the Chasan is Nimsha, is Mashpia to the Kala. He lowers himself from his own condition. He's Mashpia. The Chasanos is a Ashpa. Omar is a Bator She'ito Le'imah Nimsha B'zo Ator Debin. In order for the Chasan to be Nimshach lower, he needs a Torah, he needs a special crown, he needs a special energy. That's in the Mashal. Going back to the Nimshal, Shenimshach Bezo Torah the Bina. That in order for Zot to be Misyachad Mit Malchus, it needs the Torah of Bina. It needs Ima. Ima is Bina, like we know. Ima is Bina. So the pasuk is merames that in order for B'yam Chasanosit, there should be the Ichad of Zohar Malchus, there needs to be a special Torah, Kesef from Imai. Zohar should receive a special energy to have the power to be Nimshach lower. So that's one way we call it is a Torah. Another way you call it is Agdola Sazo. That Zoh is maturing, to be more mature, which means the Zoh, Zoh itself is only Vav Kavim. It's only the 6 meters. Kumaykim by Nika Shintai Moichin, Zoh Gamkin, the Vav Kavim. So remember, there's Ibo and there's Inika. You just maramis a lot of things here. So in the state of Ibo is only Vav Kav. Even when it comes to Yinika, it's also Vav Kav. Ikak dollars and Mashamir Gila Elian Shas Chabad Nat Hagas Nasa Chabad Ni Nasa Hagas Nia Hadosh Mshachim Nakesa the Nia Ashpa Mshachim Nakesa. It brings in the Kabbalah concept here. All these things are described in Kabbalah. That there's the Agdola, the Moichin, the Zovik gets Moichin, so the Zo becomes more mature. The way he describes it in Kabbalah language is Chagas Nasa Chabad, the Midas of Chagas are elevated to a higher level, they become Chabad, and he Nasa Chagas, Nichadosh, Nimshach Min HaKesef. I'm not going to get into the details. The point is that there's, in order for the Zot to be mashpia, it needs to be more mature. It goes more into details in that concept. Why Taket, in order to be mashpia, you need an alien. Like I said earlier, it brings a mush. So somebody learns the Dvar Halach. You understand? The concept Eina Yochel Lavine Lachacham Kotmimen. He still doesn't have a person can understand something well, but he cannot explain it to someone who is lower stage than it. Then there's another person. שכל שכל וסבור שמבין בעצמו גם כן יכולת להבין לחכם קודם. I told you once that the word lahavina in our language, lahavina means to understand. But we find in Tanakh and Nehemiah, lahavina means to explain. So here means lahavina to explain. Some people, we learned that also in about Shofar, that some person, he does have the special talent, he can explain something, explain to people, to a person below him, a deep concept. The fact that one person could explain it to the other, and one cannot, so the one who cannot explain is not because of lack of understanding. There's a famous statement, the Yeshiva say, the name of Chaim Brisker, Chison and Asboris, Chison and Avonat. If you can explain something, it means you don't really understand it. And yesh b'zeh mashu, but Chassidus always says the opposite. That the fact that he can't explain doesn't mean he doesn't understand it. Both people understand the concept well. What is the reason that one person has the ability to explain and the other doesn't? In order for we have the ability to explain to the child, he doesn't call it a child, he calls it Chacham Kot, to explain to someone who's below you, the teacher's level, to explain to him the concept, the way he understands it, he has to change it, he has to reimagine it, reword it. He himself will never be able to, the student will not be able to understand the concept of the teacher understands. He has to change it. He makes it two different parts. One is Lashanis, and also Limtze Inyanim Elahal. So it's like all various ways how to explain something. That person who has that talent that he can explain it, to explain it to the other, because he has the talent, he has the ability to change the flow. So that person has that talent. So but he lacks that particular talent. So he says the truth is, okay, the way he explains it here is, we all know in the world of, that's something, a language that we're used to in a way. Some people are more creative and some people are more, that's usually the Chachma and Bina. There's creativity, and there is a good power of analysis. Some person can analyze and understand something well, but he lacks the creativity. He says that person has the ability to explain. It comes from a different place. He has the creative power because he has that talent to be creative, to come up with a new idea. That person who is a good teacher, who has the ability to come up with ways to explain something to a simple person, to a student, he has creative talents. He knows how to create, to come up with a new idea. That's why he also has the creative ability to come up with ways to explain it. The person who doesn't lacks creativity, he can't come up with a new novel idea. The only thing he can do is can understand well and analyze an existing. That's how he explained it here. That in order to be able to be a good teacher, you have to be creative. That's one way to explain it. He says another place there's another explanation, the difference in people who have the koyach hasbo and done. So the explanation Chisson basis. Sometimes explains that person. So how we can translate Aesius? We can say vocabulary. I don't know. We can say a lot of. Maybe we can just say he has a better vocabulary. Yeah, he has better ability to use language. He has a better vocabulary. The person has a better vocabulary, he can explain better. The Gamzel, come on now. So he says the truth is the concept of vocabulary is the same idea he said earlier about creativity, because vocabulary also comes from a different place in the mind. It's not. That's I'm not sure the proper translation of vocabulary, because in our regular language, vocabulary is a person who just reads a lot, so not a lot of words. But that's not what it means here. It means vocabulary means come up with new ways to word something. That's the basis. So we described a very long analysis to explain the why and all the. So what do we the bottom line, the point he was making here is, in order to be a good teacher, you need a special. It's not enough to understand the idea well. You need a special powers. Either we call it creativity or we call it vocabulary. It's a unique talent in addition to understanding the concept. So this is a marshal of the concept that's Lamayla. For the to come from Zot Malchus, the Zon Malchus are like in the marshal of the teacher and the student. So in order for Zot to be Mamshech and Malchus, that Malchus should be Makabel from the Zot, so Shium Shagila Elim Bezot. The Zot needs, it's not enough that Zot should be who it is, it needs an alien, similar to the marshal. It's not enough that you understand the idea yourself, the teacher. He has to have a special creativity and special vocabulary to be able to give over, to explain it to the student. So there's a pasuk to Merames at Kans. Ashay maskele el dol. There's dol and there's mask. What does it mean? Dol or yisayt. The word dol in this pasuk is a remes of midas yisayt. But it's a bezoyer pasuk v'adal liyamich zeo yisayt. There's a pasuk in Parshas Tum, I think, no, Kisisa. Oshal yar v'adal lo yamit. So the Zohar says the dal is Yisoid. Well, the Omar, the Ma'ashem masculine dal, the Sherish Yisoid, the Mokar Seichel, and Shatzech HaShpor, so Shiyum Shagil El Nilmayim. So masculine, the word masculine in this passage is Marames, but we call it Mokar Seichel, which is higher than the Seichel itself, a higher level. And the dal, which is Zohar, needs the Amshach of the Erel. Okay, so that passage didn't help us understand the concept, just another way to say it. Now we're going back to how we started all discussion in the second paragraph of the Maim on page Rishman base 1. Ksiva Tzadik Ovad. Now he goes back after we explain. Zeh shekos Tzadik Ovad. Shvizman Agolus. Shelo yesh hashpo mizol Malchus. Zman Agolus. That Malchus is in Golus. Malchus is the Golus Hashchina. The male is Shchina. Let's talk about it in the Nimshul. When the student is not there, so the teacher doesn't have to teach him. Mainly, the teacher doesn't have, so that special talent that he has is not there because he doesn't need it. There's no makabel. So he's not makabel from a higher power. So that's in the mush, and that's in the mush. And the nimshul, shelo yesh hashpom is all machos obad makabel chabi chon the leila. Okay, so that we explained. So we explained what tzaddik ovad is. Now he's gonna all this is a way to explain the first paragraph of the Maimon. He said the whole golus is not only something that affects us, it also affects the Eibishter Kaviyochu, like the Noisha and the Chol Awesome like so. So that's what tzaddik ovad is. That will continue tomorrow. Okay. All right.
Thank you.